So yeah, here's video number one, gear review number one. Hopefully this kind of stuff will be a little more common in the future because I'm just trying to get a little more involved with all of it, just due to some interests that are kicking off. Today I'm going to be talking about kind of what we're wearing for this year during deer season, but in a little bit of a different area than most people have been talking about it. When I first started looking into it, there wasn't much out there for, the deep southern United States. South Mississippi, South Alabama, South Georgia, Panhandle, Florida, and the rest of Florida. But so I was looking real heavily into those kind of weather patterns where it's not really cold, but it can be really humid and cold because of the humidity and moisture in the air, and there wasn't much out there. So this is kind of what I went with. Haven't gone through a hunting season with it yet, so I'll have to update y'all once we get to the end of it. But yeah, so here we go. I'm gonna start out the year just kind of the first 2 to 3 weeks of season. We open up October 15th here in South Alabama. Just keeping it real simple, wearing the lightweight hoodie and the Equinox pants. They make an early season pant, they make an early season shirt, but I didn't want to pick those up because to me, even though they would be perfect for early season, wouldn't be quite as versatile for when I started looking at traveling other places. Then I didn't go with the shirt because I didn't want it to carry more stuff into the woods. I didn't have to keep track of, even though it seems silly, keep track of a face mask, because this hoodie, along with some of the other ones, has this amazing hood and face with a face mask built into it. It's very comfortable, very breathable, especially with this new mesh they have on it this year. I have one of their 2018 lightweight hoodies for duck season, and this new mesh and this mask breathes so much better than this old one. I can hardly tell any air that's been moving up into my glasses if I did wear glasses. Most of it just comes straight out and through the mesh itself. It's very comfortable. Can't really ever tell it's there, and it works great. Equinox pants, I think they're going to be a touch warm for the first week or so of season. We're still looking at low 80s and the 70s down here in South Alabama if we keep on our normal temperature tracks. But nothing you can't manage with just slowing your walk into the woods down. But like I said, I went with the Equinox pants instead of the early season pants just because I felt like they'd be a little more versatile if I was to ever move further north, travel anywhere during early season that was a little bit cooler, and just I'd be able to use them in a wider range of situations with it. So in a couple seconds, I'm gonna go change into what I'm gonna kind of transition through and build upon for the rest of the year, because as soon as it gets into what I'm thinking of middle of November on, beginning of November, somewhere in there is when I'm gonna start transitioning into some other stuff. So be right back. All right, here we are. I'm back kind of I skipped a couple weeks of what I'd wear. Currently I'm wearing what I'd wear more towards the middle to end of November. My first transition from the Equinox pants and lightweight hoodie will be to switch from the lightweight hoodie to the Fanatic hoodie, and then and that would be end of October, beginning of November, and then once it kind of continues to progress, I'll either wear the Fanatic light bibs with a lightweight hoodie, or what I'm wearing now, the Fanatic hoodie with those Fanatic light bibs. Like I said, I would definitely wear these more than likely early season and just add a lightweight base layer underneath them, just to make that transition a little sooner. Yeah, like I said, this is what I'm going to wear during that first transition. From here on out, I'm kind of being a little picky, as when I'm looking at my base layers and my layering systems, I really don't like feeling like a marshmallow when I'm in the woods. I hate wearing more than 3 layers unless I absolutely need to. With that, I only like running one piece that has a hood on it, so I'm really particular about that as well. And just with what I wear. Sorry about that, I got a dog in the background that's teething and just chewing on whatever I can give her to chew on, trying to get her through that. But yes, like I said, middle going into the end of November, I'm definitely wearing this Fanatic hoodie. It's a great piece. Just like the lightweight hoodie, it's got a face mask with that hood, which is a great thing. It's, it's just as breathable as on that lightweight hoodie. I really like this face mask. I know I didn't touch this with a lightweight hoodie one, but it really moves with you. Your head doesn't tend to, kind of suck back underneath the side when you're looking, which is a big thing, especially for bow hunting when you're drawing back and looking down. If your head, when you have that hood up, is sliding against underneath it, can really get into what you're able to see through peripheral vision and just being uncomfortable and whatnot. So yeah, it's an amazing piece. This Fanatic hoodie is really going to be a staple in my layering system from here on out. I'm pretty sure. So yes, that's, like I said, this is what I'm wearing. I made the choice for the Fanatic light bibs for two reasons. Once it's warm enough for me to transition from that Equinox pant, I really like having a bib. In the past, I've always been kind of snake bit by having cold air that kind of wants to creep up underneath my jacket, where the bibs and not bibs, but pants and jackets kind of come together. And so when I made this switch over to Sitka, I said, well, once it gets cold enough for it to be an issue, I don't want to wear pants. I want to be able to wear some type of bibs till I have some kind of overlap, so the colder won't be able to creep up and get up under that jacket. It's going to do two things. One, I think it's going to make it more comfortable for me, and two, it's going to prevent me from having to wear more than 2 or 3 layers at a time. So yeah, then also I went with the Stratus for the kind of that first transition. Not Stratus, I apologize. The Fanatic light bibs for that transition. We'll get to the Stratus here in a bit. Is because according to talking with a couple different individuals, talking with people at Sitka, it seems like the Fanatic light bibs is just a touch cooler. It's labeled as on their website, as built for the early season. And it's built with the interior pattern that it has, just to help with the heat venting out the top of that. It's got a hexagonal kind of pattern with some channels built into it to help with that. But one of the third and main reason I really like these is because of everything's still green in November here in the deep south, and so that means still a lot of burrs, a lot of beggar's lice that you're dealing with. And I think because it has if you look at it, it has a really smooth exterior to it, as compared to the Fanatic bibs. It has that kind of micro brushed fleece exterior on it. I think these will pick up a lot less potential burrs and beggar's lice and stuff when you're looking at being out in the field when everything is still green. Another thing I really like about it is this hand muff pocket that's built into it. It's great. I like having the ability to run my hands and kind of put them together. Just when you're looking at comfort level, that's how I've always been. I like having a hand muff, being able to run and put my hands together. And then also it's got a great pocket. You can drop cell phones, SD card cases, whatever you need in that. I even know a lot of guys that when it does get kind of chilly in the morning, in these kind of pockets, they will drop like a hand warmer in there. That way it's not in here, but the hand warmer's still there to help keep their hands warm. So it's a great piece. But from here, I'll do one of two things. As we start moving, one thing I did forget to mention, this thing's really cool, is the hands on this Fanatic hoodie. They're great because if you see here, I'm not wearing gloves, it's part of the sleeve, but it has built-in kind of hand muff, finger muffs on there. So if you're a guy that doesn't like to really wear gloves, but you need something to kind of take the edge off in the morning, you real quickly just kind of flip those up there as you're waiting for the sun to come up, and then when it kind of that magic hour, first daylight in the morning, you can easily just flip them back and have your fingertips exposed, or you can completely kind of take them down and pull them down out of your way if you're a guy that likes to have your hands exposed. Yeah, I can't believe I almost forgot that, because that's actually one of my favorite things about this hoodie. When you're looking at weights of the Fanatic hoodie, I would say somewhere between a midweight and a heavyweight core base layer is what it would be equivalent to. Well, like I said, it's definitely be a key piece in my layering system from here on out. As far as getting to the tree stand, I actually have on a core lightweight crew shirt underneath this. And then I have some core lightweight bottoms underneath the bibs themselves. And that's what I'll wear actually going to the stand. I'll pack the Fanatic hoodie and the bibs or pants, whatever I am, to the base of the tree and put them on there just to kind of help manage body temperatures and sweating and stuff before I actually get into the tree. Okay, so that takes us through, hopefully through the month of November. Make that transition into early December, where it starts cooling off. When I'm gonna start using one of the biggest pieces that I'm excited about, which is the Celsius Shacket. If you notice, it's more of like a jacket t-shirt cross with these awesome sleeves it has going on. And I think it's going to be great because it can do two things. One, on those days when it's just starting to cool off, and I just need a little some more core warmth, not really anything for my arms, it will layer really easy over the top of everything. But then also it's got the hand muff pocket like I like. It doesn't have the external pocket on it, which is no big deal. It's got that hand muff pocket on it, but this thing is just soft. It's super easy. It packs down fairly small for the warmth it provides. And imagine not a loud puffy jacket shirt combination, brainchild of the two, but it really just it's a puffy jacket made out of quiet material. So it's really going to provide a lot of core warmth while still allowing your arms to be free, allowing bowstring clearance for those hardcore bow guys. I love to bow hunt, but if I'm consistently not getting them in the range, I'm going to pull out the gun. Like I said, I think this will really carry me through that month of transition from November to December and through December real heavily. Towards in December, it usually does start getting a little colder. So that's when I'll switch over to my Stratus bibs in combination with my Fanatic hoodie and the Shacket. And then as we kind of go into the month of January and February, I think I'm going to shed the Shacket and then switch over to Stratus bibs and my Stratus jacket for my two exterior layers. The reason being is that's, no matter where you're at, you're looking at winter time, you're looking at, intermittent north winds. And so that's really going to stop a lot of wind coming through because the Stratus system has that wind blocker built into it. And once again, talking with the guys at Sitka and with some other individuals and reading reviews on it on the internet and everything, it seems like even though they're labeled as the same warmth, that the Stratus bibs in that series is just a touch warmer than the Fanatic Light bibs and the Fanatic Light jacket in that series as well, which is why I made that decision to go with that. So like I said, once I get into that December, through December and into January, that first half of February, last little bit of deer season time frame for down here in the deep south, we'll likely shed this Shacket and then switch over to carrying the Stratus jacket and the Stratus bibs to the base of the tree with me. However, with that being said, I am known to hunt North Mississippi, anywhere from Central to North Arkansas. So when you're looking at getting into the December and the January time frame, it can get real cold there. Consistent nights in the teens, days where you don't get above the mid 30s. So with that, I know that I'll have to pull out, layer the Stratus jacket and then put the Shacket on over top of it. I think it layers a little bit easier that way. And then pull out underneath that Stratus bibs, switch over to either my midweight or my heavyweight core base layers. I don't see myself having to use those real heavily as far as my pants goes. I'll only own the midweight and heavyweight in the pants just because I do own the Fanatic hoodie and this Shacket for my top. When you're looking at gloves, I kept it real simple. Got one set, the Fanatic gloves. It'll be real nice. For me, I'm like a large, extra large, where a large is a touch too small, extra large is a touch too big. So I'm in between. So these are a little bit tight to get on, no big deal. Just kind of got to slow down on putting them on, but I really like them because whether if I'm gun hunting or bow hunting, I have those fingers, exposed. I have access to be able to have the dexterity and the feel that I like to have when I am bow hunting. Whether if you're shooting an index or you're shooting a thumb release, you're going to be able to have that because you have both exposed. And if you are a guy that likes to use a cell phone in a tree stand just to help pass the time when it is slow, you know, those thumbs and everything. And if you play games, you know, you have your index fingers exposed as well to be able to help with that. But yeah, so that's my system. I hope you're able to come back in, you know, beginning of March into February, somewhere in there, and give a kind of an updated review after several months of use of this system and see what kind of temperature ranges it really fell into the use of. You know, but yeah, so this is it. If you got any questions, let me know. You know, leave a comment in the section below, and keep an eye out. After a little more time with it in my hands, I'm going to do a review over a new Matthews Traverse, as well as the tethered Mantis system, and all my saddle system I have coming in that I'm switching over to for this year. So keep an eye out for that. Hopefully keep an eye out for some successful hunting videos in the future. And yeah, y'all just have a good, you know, fun time in the woods, and good luck this season.